Okay, this is a really good haul video. In fact, I have so much stuff. It's probably gonna have to break up into at least 2 videos, maybe 3. We'll see, but we'll start with part 1. I feel like lately I've had trouble finding good comp items, and so my system kind of is, if I can't find good comp items, I move on to stylized pieces, and then from there I work down to discount prices to get some bread and butters in that maybe aren't the most enticing items, but will still bring in some sort of money. So I do have a system of how I go down, but I feel like I've been in a rut lately with comps, but that has came to an end. We have a ton of really great comped things to look at, as well as stylized pieces. So I'm really excited to dive in. As a part-time reseller, this is a ton. Hundreds of dollars sitting here, waiting to be listed. So let's dive in so I get to work. Okay, also, quick story time about almost all of these items. Most of these items are from one thrift haul. They're from several, but a majority is from one. And it was a really great thrifting day, a really great one. There was a problem though, a tornado. So what had happened was, it was just a jackpot day, which doesn't happen often, but it was also a crazy day. Here's what happened. My kids and I were shopping at the thrift store. Obviously they source with me, and it was a great day thrifting wise. We were finding a ton of brands, throwing them in the cart to later comp because it was also full of other resellers. And everything was, like I said, it was a good day. The girls are getting along, they're helping me, everything, okay? But while I'm sitting there just starting the comping process, suddenly we hear the sirens go off outside. And when we looked outside, it looked perfectly fine. It was generally sunny, like a partly cloudy day. But naturally, I have 2 small children. They began getting a little freaked out hearing the sirens at a not planned regular drill time. Because in our state, we have a regular, like, planned drill time every week. But this was not that time, so they knew that there was something serious going on, so they were freaking out. I'm looking out the window and everything's fine, but the weather does turn from partly sunny, normal day to suddenly very dark, very loud, very windy, seriously heavy rain, really loud thunder. It was crazy. I asked the thrift store what their plan is for safety, and they were kind of like, I don't know, just go to a bathroom. So that was interesting. So all I could do was kind of go into a corner where I'm not directly in front of a window or anything. It isn't a strip mall, so there's that. I'm at least in some way not like on an exterior wall. But yeah, I'm just in this corner where I can see the windows, but I'm not directly by them. I'm trying to help my children feel better. They're hugging me and freaking out, and there's nothing I can do but sit there and wait it out. So I'm trying to comfort my children, slowly comp things in a spot that has like no cell reception. So it was a very interesting thrift trip, and I was just thinking, like, obviously my kids are number 1 safety wise, but 2, I was just sad thinking if a tornado comes, it's gonna take all this hard work comping and sourcing items. Needless to say, as far as I know, it was just a warning and nothing hit the area we were in. As far as I know, I didn't follow up with anything because once that storm cleared, we got right out of there and we went straight home. So yes, I appreciate all of these items making it home with me. Obviously, I have a new hair color. I don't know if you can see it from this far away, but there is blue dye on my hands for the reason I'm going to wear gloves while I handle things, because I do not want the dye to cross over into the garments. So bear with me wearing gloves all this whole time. And while I'm putting these on, please remember, I have children. I have a husband. I have a dog. There will be sounds. Those are all very noisy, rambunctious things in my house. Okay, let's get started. Where do I want to start? We're first starting at a store that has still had that half off dresses going. I asked them why, and they said it was simply because they had too many dresses. The rack was too full, so they were doing 50% off dresses to get them gone. However, this one is very difficult for me not to keep. The brand is Pomander Place. And this is on the Tuckernuck website, so I knew it was going to be a good item, and it is. So you're going to hear the bags shuffling under me because there's so many bags. So there's the tag. Pomander Place, new with tags. And they wanted $6.99. It was $16.99. So it was 50% off of that price. And it's this gorgeous, like, shifty swing dress. Tiered. What was that? Oh, it was a little tiny cotton strand hanging. I will have to cut that. It's nothing major. I want to keep her. Here's what's hard to keep her for. Even with this price, it still meets my 4X goal. So you guys know any price that I pay, I want to 4X my money or more. This sells for $70. I have proof of it selling for $70 with tags. I'm going to see if I can push it further, but I know I can get that, and that would literally meet the threshold for this $16.99. However, I only paid technically $8.50 for it. So either way, I'm getting my money back, and it's hard because this is a perfect dress. I have a trip coming up to somewhere very sunny and happy and coastal, and yeah, I want to keep it. So I'm really struggling because I really could keep this. It's my size. If I take the tag off and wear it, I obviously will make less money if I don't keep it. I don't know what to do. Tell me in the comments, should I keep this gorgeous dress? She's so beautiful. Let's see the pattern up close. It's textured as well, so that's textured. And slightly, I wouldn't call it metallic, but there's a shine, so kind of metallic. I don't know what to call that. And look at these smocked sleeves with the bell. So it's like a bubble sleeve smocked into like a bell sleeve. And like I said, tiered down here. Very much trendy, chic, southern, feminine, coquette. Are all things you could go with this. This could also fit into the coastal trend. Romantic is another one. I'm trying out, I told you I'm trying out keywords like things you would wear for like brunch. So this would be like a brunch outfit, church. Like those are the kind of keywords I'm trying to test out. I don't know how they're working yet, but they're all ones that I'm trying. However, I'm really having trouble letting go of this one, but it's hard to say keep it when it's worth 70. So I don't know what to do. Okay, this next one from there technically is not a brand worthwhile. In fact, it doesn't have a brand on it, I don't think. Style wise, this is gonna do fine. I only paid, it says $2.99 for, so obviously $1.50. And if we get up close, let me skip over these bags. If we get up close, you'll see that it's studded with just beautiful rhinestones throughout it. Hopefully that's showing like the sparkle in it. I don't know if it is, but let's get up close. There it goes, you can see it now. It's super studded with this beautiful like blossoming tree print. And it's that shifty swing dress too. As you see, like a full A-line. Another one I'd like to keep, but she's beautiful. So I think someone out there will want her. Probably won't go for a lot, but $1.50 will turn around easily. Once again, we're looking at kind of the same keywords to an extent. We're looking at feminine, romantic. This could also be like date night. Some people don't want like sexy date night. Some people want just really feminine, beautiful, dainty type looks, and this is that. So date night, church dress, all those kind of words I'm testing out. You would put floral, studded, rhinestone. Oh, there's a safety pin in there. Why? I don't know. There's no flaw. I do have to get that safety pin out. That's weird. I would mention that it's like that swing shift dress as well. So those are kind of the words I would use for this dress. Okay, here's one that I've sold in the past and it sells well. Now granted, I have not sold women's stuff, just men's, but I think this is gonna do great. I did see some general comps, so I was in a hurry at this point. So it's gonna at least be a bread and butter. The brand is Kenny Flowers, if you can see there. It claims I paid $5.99. Obviously I paid half of that, but it's this really pretty cutout style dress. What size are you? A medium. Look at these beautiful puff sleeves. Smocking in the back there. In the bottom here is just this gorgeous like tropical print. It's got pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus flowers. I don't know what that other flower is that I'm seeing. It's a beautiful print. Yeah, bread and butter at the minimum or more. And we're looking at coastal, travel, beachy, vacation. Those will be the main ones. You also, this is feminine, romantic, dainty. Cutout is a huge one. Smocked is a huge one. Puff sleeves is a huge one. 100% cotton. So we could also go with breathable. I feel like when it's cotton, breathable works more as a keyword than cotton. Unless it's something like notable, like organic, Pima, things like that. Even those I don't always notate because there are better words to use. But those are kind of the words we will be going with for this. I feel like every time I do a video, it's almost like I had a sourcing idea in mind and I bought around that idea, whether it's on purpose or not. I think maybe I'm doing it subconsciously, just knowing the trends that I've been looking at. I don't know if that's what I'm doing, but maybe. Okay, next we have Pinch. And was this an Anthropologie brand? I feel like this is Anthropologie, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I didn't feel like Pinch in general comped well, but I think this dress will. I paid, it says $7.99, so we paid half that, so we're looking at like $4. It is a size small, but I'm trying to not discriminate against small right now, especially in brands that have more petite body types going for it. Like a lot of times people that buy Free People, Anthropologie are smaller body types, especially when they're the younger crowd. Between those two ideas, that younger crowd usually tends to wear smaller, or a lot of the clientele for those brands are just smaller women. That's what I'm going for. But it is new with tags as well. And it's this gorgeous, it's almost polka dot, but it's more like paint. It's almost like paintbrush strokes or something. But it's this tiered dress here. It's got 2 tiers, ruffles, as you can tell, really close to the neck. It's like a high neck kind of outfit here. It is lined and she is 100% cotton as well. So beautiful, beautiful dress. I love the new with tags is going to help a ton, but we're definitely going to use, if it is Anthropologie, we're going to throw that into the keywords, of course, but we can use feminine, I feel like this still fits into coquette, even though it's not the super baby dollish look. It's kind of a baby doll dress in a sense with the shape. So it could fit coquette. This goes into, once again, I feel like this fits into romantic. You could put polka dot, but I don't know if that's the best term to use. It's pleated, it has ruffles, breathable once again with it being cotton. But this also is something people look for like travel, so you could use those words, but I feel like there are other words that would describe it better. And then also, like, when I tell you things like brunch, date night dresses, I don't put those usually in the keywords. It's not often I do unless it really is a truly fitting and worthwhile use of the 80, you know, like you only get 80 letters to use. I'll put them down in the description box. Now that doesn't help as much on eBay, it helps more on Poshmark from what I understand. I'm not the SEO genius here, so I'm just telling you what I understand. But yeah, those are kind of the places that I'll put those kind of keywords. And then up on the top is more, I will use keywords like boho, feminine even, dainty, coquette, hipster, hippie. Those are the words I'll put up in the 80 characters for the title. So those are kind of the words that I would use for this. This is why I'm wearing the gloves, because this here would get the blue dye on them for sure. And it's a Lily Pulitzer. I paid, well, it says I paid $5.99, so I paid $3. But there's the tag for Lily. Now the tags do have some variations, so just keep that in mind, but this is one you will see out in the wild. Size medium. I don't know the name of this style yet, and honestly we do know like the ones that sell more are those like corally beachy patterns, but I still feel like these do well. The ones that do the least well for me are more like the solid blues and darker colors, and even some of the winter items. I feel like Lily Pulitzer winter items or fall items don't sell. Like I have a puffer vest from Lily and it has yet to sell. If you're looking for one, it's in my closet. Make an offer or on eBay, whatever. But it has like a burnout actually. It's like sheer woven with a beautiful texture, and it's like a burnout with an embroidered. Would that be embroidered? This might be embossed. I did research the difference between embroidered and embossed, and embossed is when the changes happen within the weaving of the material, and embroidered is when it's placed onto it. Obviously, like, you know, some embroidery, like if you think of Johnny Was, that's embroidered. But also when you're using things like sequins and studs, those are considered embroidered as well. But this might be embossed because it is kind of woven into the texture of the material. So instead of embroidered, I probably would put embossed. I'm still not sure, but sheer is another one clearly. There is a floral pattern. It's almost more of an abstract floral and few and far between. Yeah, it's almost like a hibiscus. Also, I need to research if this is like a swim cover-up. So I have a lot of research to do. If it's a swim cover-up, that'll go a little differently. Oh, and this is, it doesn't have tags, but it's new without tags. This is still attached, like the little bag with the extra buttons. So yeah, I have a lot of research to do before I come up with a ton of keywords. I feel like it's a cover-up, but I could be wrong. But Lily Pulitzer, we know Southern girls love some Lily Pulitzer. Sometimes I use that term, sometimes I don't, because there are a lot of words that I feel like are better, such as like the beachy type trends, travel, all that kind of stuff. Classic. A lot of times her stuff can fit preppy, but I don't usually put it. Okay, this one, this might be a risk with the comps, but I think it's one that will do well. This is a Maggie Barnes for Catherine's maxi dress, and I'll show you the tag. Here's the tag. Now in the past, when it's a collab between the two of these, I feel like it doesn't sell as well as them individually, in my experience. Let's see here, I paid $4.50. It's a 3X, which are all great things, especially when Catherine's is involved. And it's this beautiful tropical print. So the comps were like, they were either doing great or they weren't. So this is one where you have to kind of chance it and hope that you have a print that is desirable. I feel like this is one that's going to do well. Probably in the 30s, hopefully the high 30s. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. It might have been a risky one to pick up, but it has this really nice like braided belt accent here. It's stretchy, which is a big keyword a lot of times for me to use on Catherine's items. With plus size, stretch is a factor that is often important. I myself am curvy, obviously, so I'm aware of how important stretch is. Yeah, like I said, it's maxi length. It's the tropical coastal trends, so we can put that in there. I would not put coastal granny because Catherine's does target the non-youngsters, okay? We're not, a 20-year-old is probably not getting this, maybe, but usually Catherine's it targets an older audience, so we're going to just use coastal. In fact, I stopped using granny in a lot of those pieces because I feel like it can send away so many buyers, because anybody who's older does not want to, okay, camera overheated, but we're back. So yes, stretch, maxi. You could bring up the braided accent on the waist here. It's got a crossover v-neck. That is something you could notate. And like I said, we're looking at travel, coastal, all those kind of words with this as well. Okay, I can't remember which Goodwill I was at, but I was at a Goodwill for this set of things. I think that's all I had from that dress store. If I find more later, I'll let you know it's from that dress store. It's 50% off. That thrift store can have great stuff, but with the 50% off dresses, I just do quick run-throughs in there, get me some dresses and walk out. But let's go on to Goodwill. Now I do know if you see a yellow tag, it was 50% off. I don't have that many of them.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had.
No. Do you need something? What do you need? All right. Like I was saying, if you see a yellow tag, it was from Goodwill. I just realized there's two tags in here. They have a blue one and they're all funky. And then the regular red one. But I'm becoming a fan of this brand. First of all, how gorgeous is this piece? I'm not entirely sure if this is vintage. I don't know if this brand is still in operation, but if you remember on the last, it was the last haul video I shared the brand a buyer too, and that was like a Y2K piece. So this could be vintage. It doesn't have a paper tag, which is, you know, like there's certain giveaways and I don't, it has one tag if that helps. I will need to do some research. Made in USA, there's another good giveaway. So this might be vintage. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with this brand, but it's quickly becoming a favorite of mine for stylized pieces. And how gorgeous is this piece? If it was my size, I would just keep it, but it's not. It's a size 5. And it's this beautiful prairie cottagecore vintage looking dress with these beautiful puff sleeves. It has like the lace, almost like a Peter Pan collar, but it goes all the way down instead of like around the neck. It's woven, and yeah, she's just so beautiful. So beautiful. Let me show you the tag. That's the tag. All the info is there. Okay, so first of all, if you don't know, Prairie sells itself right now. Prairie is a hot commodity. If you have something like this, do not miss out on the word Prairie. When you have a piece like this, you need to do your research and see if it is a vintage piece. You want to notate some of that history, whether you put it in the keywords or in the description. What I often do with vintage pieces, or I'm starting to, I won't say always, but what I'm starting to do is kind of give the backstory. One, I think it helps entice buyers. Does it require more work? Yes. But two, I see the value in vintage the older I get, I guess, because those pieces have a story to them. And so I like to give as much back history to those pieces as possible. I can't say this correlates, but anecdotally, I will say I feel like when I give the backstory, people will pay more. So I'm not saying that's 100% true, but I feel like it might play a part because people want to get to know it and look in the description box. I keep it brief because nobody wants to read 20 paragraphs of the history of a brand, but I just make some quick highlights about the brand. So I do need to do more research to decide on pricing and all of that, but oh my goodness, Prairie, Prairie, Prairie. Do not forget Prairie. Retro, if it's vintage, I'm going to put vintage. Whatever decade it's from, I'm going to put that in the title as well. You could mention these beautiful, dainty, feminine puff sleeves here. Like I said, it's woven, floral. It has a you could say, well, I don't know if I would use rustic. Maybe not rustic. Cottagecore, absolutely. So those are kind of the things we're going to go for with this. Feminine, all those kind of words. So I'm really excited about this piece. Hopefully I will have an update soon for you guys on the what solds videos about this piece. Okay, this is a different Old Navy, and it goes against all the things that I've discussed kind of, but I still feel like this is gonna sell. Now it is a size medium. I tend to not pick up anything below a large for Old Navy. However, I think this style-wise, it could work. I'm not gonna say it's going to because this is a test. You guys know I've been loving picking up Old Navy lately. Okay, so first, it is from summer of 08, so it's not vintage, but it's almost vintage. However, that absolutely puts it into the Y2K aesthetic marketing tools, okay? So the keywords we can use are very Y2K. And this is Y2K. As you can see here, it's a tie halter dress with like those triangle areas on the chest. Floral. Now, even though this is Y2K, you could also put 70s style. This is very much like 70s hippie style. It's like a handkerchief dress. Yeah, you could use handkerchief. Why am I saying it weird? I feel like no matter how I say it, doesn't sound right. Handkerchief. Sometimes I forget words while I'm thinking so hard in these videos. It also has this really nice like V plunge in the back. So flowy, handkerchief, hippie, boho. Those are all words we could use. Flowy, travel, coastal, vacation, palm. I sometimes put palm leaf print, but I wouldn't on this one just because there are other things going on like the floral. Floral is more important than palm. So those are all kind of the keywords I would use for this. I'm going to definitely use Y2K. You should not post something like this and not use Y2K. So those are all words I'm considering for titling and marketing this with keywords. Hello, a nap dress. We cannot look past a nap dress. If this was my size, I'd keep it. A beautiful purple. This is Banana Republic. You know, before we continue, I forgot to show you guys the tag on this Old Navy so that you can visually see when it's worth looking to see if it's a Y2K item as far as actual legit timeline. So this is a tag from 08. So it is different from the current ones. I do want to make sure you guys are aware of that. This here is an not Express, Banana Republic dress. By the way, did you guys hear Express is filing bankruptcy and closing like 90 something stores? It'll be interesting to see how that affects sales, for the better or for the worse. But yes, Banana Republic, size medium. And this is, if you know the brand Hill House, you know they're really popular for their nap dresses. That's what it's called. I will be putting nap dress in the title because that does increase value. So this here is a style of a nap dress. The ones that do best usually are like the Hill House brand, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that this will do just fine. Banana Republic is still a good brand. It's not as great as Hill House, but it's still a good brand. And it's this beautiful, beautiful dress. And it's kind of a plaid. It's interesting. It's got a plaid weaving into it. Like if you look at the material, can you see the plaid? I think you can only see the stripes going down. The stripes going down are more obvious than the stripes going sideways, but I promise you they're there. But we have it smocked here around the entire chest and waist. These gorgeous, almost butterfly sleeves, but they're not. They're just straight up ruffles. And this bottom half is more of that A-line. This is a midi dress. And I don't know if I'll mention that it's like an embossed plaid. That's really interesting. It has pockets. Pockets are a great keyword for women. This feels like cotton, but let's see, because sometimes some of these materials are starting to get tricky. 100% cotton. So breathable as well. Romantic, cottagecore, absolutely guys, cottagecore. Those are kind of the words we're gonna go with. So we have dainty, feminine, romantic, cottagecore, nap dress, smocked, woven, embossed plaid maybe, or embossed, or I don't know, we'll see. Pockets, ruffles, midi. Those are all the words I'm going to use on this dress. It'll sell itself. All right, so that's the end of this haul. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications for when the next part of this comes out, because it's going to be a part probably 3 series because there's just so much stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in another video. Feel free to click up here and watch another one.